Thank you for listening to Lone Star Community Radio. This program was broadcasted and recorded live from the LSCR studios in downtown Conroe, Texas. Lone Star Community Radio is supported by listeners like you. Donate and sponsor today. For more information on getting involved with Lone Star Community Radio, contact us at lscrstudios@gmail.com or visit us online at www.irlonestar.com.
Thank you for taking time to cruise in to Car Club Talk with Robert, Randy, and Dana. Dana's missing, huh?
Yeah.
She's taking a little time off
off.
Some family time today.
Right.
But you're here. It's nice to have you here.
I'm filling in for her today.
Well, no, you're not filling in. It's kind of your idea for the show, man. Hey, welcome to our home here in the Lone Star Community Radio Studios, housed here in Conroe Tower, right across the way from the Conroe City Council chambers. And, you know, we're in the county where the official flag of the Lone Star State was created. I'm Randy Weldon. This is Robert Helmer over here, sequestered back in the sound booth / safe room is Dick Schischler, our sound engineer and producer. And we are broadcasting from Lone Star Community Radio on 104.5 and 106.1 FM. Also streaming worldwide on irlonestar.com, YouTube, and Facebook. And to get directly to our program, you can go to irlonestar.com/CCCT. So, Robert, what we got? You laughing? What we have going today?
Mouthful, right?
Yeah, you know what? It's just a string.
Yeah.
String of letters.
What happens when you get popular? You become wild worldwide. Huh?
Well, I noticed at Mustang Week there were people clamoring around you looking for autographs.
No, not quite.
No?
No.
Oh, I heard you were selling them.
couldn't give them away. What are you talking about?
Well, I was in the MCA booth, and then we were trying to drum up business for you.
Yeah.
Didn't get any takers, but you know.
But Mustang, that was a great week.
That was a great weekend. What a weekend, man.
Yeah.
They call it Mustang Week because it is a weekend that actually acts like a week.
Yeah.
You know?
I know you didn't make the kickoff party, the spot.
I did not.
But no. that was a great place. I made it over there and got to eat some food from there. And
Spot's a good place.
It was a great restaurant. Yep. Well, yeah, it was great food.
It's right on the seawall. If you can get outside, even better.
Yeah, and also watching the cars just cruise down the seawall back and forth. That was great.
Well, what was really good that I thought was we really didn't have that many people that were, hard launching. There were some coming out of the event at the end of every day.
Yes.
But
everybody pretty much was well behaved.
They were pretty well behaved, yeah. I mean,
I only seen one person get pulled over to get a ticket.
I didn't see actually anybody I get pulled over. They were not too bad. There were some revving of the engines and some, hitting of the gas pedal with a little bit of a launch.
Yeah.
I did see somebody get arrested. We were at I don't remember the name of the restaurant one night, sitting on the seawall. And it had nothing to do. It was Mustang related. Somebody that was just being a jerk that was in Galveston, and they arrested him.
He didn't have a Mustang then, huh?
No, but I was sitting there drinking some sort of rancher punch, and it highlighted my night.
Yeah.
But
the spot
to see somebody.
It was really a great place, and that was a great place to kick off the party.
They've already announced next year's dates.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I have to go look them up.
I went to the website and it hadn't been updated yet because I was going to see if they had any pictures or any videos of the event, and there wasn't anything there.
Yeah, it was. It just came out toward the latter part of this week, but we need to get James Lawrence back on here and get kind of a recap. I heard there were like 5,000 to 6,000 Mustangs total there.
Yeah, that's the question everybody's asking: how many cars and how many participants were there?
Well, heard there were 750 in the car show portion of it.
750 cars.
That's what I heard. Yep.
Okay. And something around the number of 8,000 participants walked through.
Oh, as far as spectators, I don't know, but there were a lot of spectators, a lot.
And the drifting show was great. I watched it for a while, and I was like, I could not believe how two cars could just go in circles.
Yeah.
I mean, inches apart, just precise, and not run into each other, not even touch each other. It's like, man. And they were coming up to the wall and just barely missing the wall by inches.
Yeah, no, those guys.
That was something else.
That's what a professional is, man.
Yeah.
They're good. I watched them out at HMP So I ran out there. I did not take time to go over to the drag strip portion, but
Yeah.
I did watch them on the oval track.
Well, it started off at MSR, right?
MSR and HMP on the same day, yeah.
On the same day.
Yeah, they were both running on the same day.
Okay.
And then the kickoff party was that evening.
That Thursday night.
Yep.
So, and yeah, it was great weather all through the whole thing, and great atmosphere. Everybody was, like I said, well behaved, and it was just great. The car show was amazing. So.
Yep. Now it was only thing was it was spread out, like major league spread out.
Yeah, but Moody Gardens was a great place to hold that. So, and we were fortunate to be right there. Our hotel room was right there off Moody Gardens.
Yeah, were you at that little blue hotel?
Yeah.
Yeah. The same
It
people.
was a light blue.
Yeah. The same people that own Moody Gardens own that hotel as well.
Oh, okay. I did not know.
Oh
that.
yeah, same people. Yeah, one of my customers
It made it
actually.
convenient just to get up and just go right down the street, and you're back into the show.
Yep, it does.
So, I can't wait till next year then.
I actually got handicap parking. So no, you'll love this. I went up there and they were I told them I had a room there. I told them I was staying with Tracy Templer. So so they said, well, you got handicap, so we'll park you, valet park you at no charge.
Right.
But when I went to get the acknowledgement at the front desk, I told the girl I was staying with Tracy Templer, and she looked at me and she's like, she's looking at the computer and she's looking at me, and then she's like, "You're staying with Tracy Templer?" I said, "Yeah." So later on, I asked Tracy, I said, "Hey man, in your room, how many beds you got?" He's like, "Just one."
Oh, no wonder she's questioning.
Yeah. Now I know why she was looking at that computer. So anyhow.
And they had great volunteers. Speaking of catching a ride, they had buggies. If you had to park 2 blocks away at the parking lot, the buggies were constantly taking you back and forth. So really, you didn't.
Well, and they would take you all the way back to the show field as well.
Right.
Which was very nice, from the hotel back.
It was very professional for volunteers.
Yep.
They did a great job.
Yep. Hey, what?
And the Tomball show we went to, the Lions Club.
Yeah, how many cars did they have?
I think your number was 300.
I heard it was right around 300.
One thing about the Tomball show really impressed me was the classic
music.
cars.
The music and the announcing.
No. The music needs some work. But the cars, they were all classics, and they were like masterpieces. They were all beautiful. I've seen some trucks that were just immaculate. And so it's like the enthusiast is alive and well in people still right now.
Yeah, there were some beautifully restored cars that came out there.
Yeah.
That the guy that has the box. I've seen him at other shows, but he was out there, and then they had the funkin' groovin' guys out there. They've got an upcoming show sometime in June, and I've got to get that location. I got the guy's information. Dan O is his name. But no, that Tomball show was good. I hope they'll let me come back next year and do the music and announcing again. I mean, I enjoyed doing that. So,
as long as you played the Beach Boys, that's what the guy would want, right? Who was that?
Somebody requested the Beach Boys.
Right.
That was Irvin. It was named Bob Irvin, who actually started the very first show. Another guy came up and said, "Look," he said, some of us out here like the 50s and 60s music, so I had to go dig some of that up and put it in there.
Yeah.
Because I gravitate more toward the 70s and
then
beyond.
That's when people walk over and say, "Can you move up a decade?" Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It's like you can't please everyone.
No, you can't please everyone. That's right. But that was a great show. They had great weather for that. And the Tomball High School, that's a great location.
Yeah, it is.
It worked out really well.
That was my first time being over there.
Mine too.
Yeah.
Mine too. What do you have at upcoming shows, man?
Upcoming shows, we have, don't forget, the All Mustang Car Show at Kemah. That's going to be, since it's the rain date, August the 16th. So that's been rescheduled, and that's the new date, August the 16th. And that's an All Mustang show, and that's by Space City Mustangs.
You and I are supposed to be down here for that.
Yeah, we're supposed to be out there doing DJing.
Let's see if Henry Rabago actually shows up. Henry, you're still not showing up for anything in person. He's just kind of in hiding right now. He's claiming his car is being restored.
Oh, okay.
Did get it out of the paint shop, though. I saw. He sent me a
Yeah,
picture.
I've seen that on Facebook.
Yep.
And then we have the Northside Show, November the 1st.
November 1st over at AV Bull Solace Park in New Caney.
New Caney.
Right there at the intersection of 99 and 59 or 69, whatever they call it this week. And then, but it's behind that shopping center. The park's behind the shopping center.
And one of the things we're throwing around an idea is the go-kart track that's right down the street. We're talking about having a kickoff party that Friday night, kick things off before the show.
Yeah, got a nice restaurant out there.
Yep.
Right in the front.
Yeah, they got also you got the Splendora Cafe.
Never heard of that till now.
Yeah, okay.
Sounds splendid, though.
Splendora Cafe is the place to be.
All right. What kind of food they got there?
That's the famous chicken fried steak.
Oh, we got home cooking, huh?
Yeah, home
All
cooking. Yeah,
Right.
Can't beat that.
You know what's this weekend, don't you? I know you may have a list of shows.
No, I don't. But one thing I did want to bring up was the Papa Show. It's the Sam Houston Corvette Club, and it's going to be May the 17th on Papa's on the Lake, which is a great event. I love Papa's on the Lake, and I heard Perry was actually on one of these podcasts here.
Perry, you had Perry in here?
Yeah, had Perry in here. So
Yeah, did you get a shirt that says "I know Perry"?
Yeah.
I think everybody's got those.
Yep. And this is one thing that always happens when you're car club and you're planning your event and somebody else is planning their event and you're trying to watch the calendar, and how many times has somebody planned the same date?
Yep, it just happens.
Yeah. Well, that's what happened with the Conroe Cruisers. Their show is going to be also the May 17th at the Outlet Mall, and along with Papa's on the Lake with the Sam Houston Corvette Club. And both shows are open shows, so any car can go in, and they're on the same date, and they're not that far apart, so things happen.
Look, during Mustang Week, the Saline Club had an event in Alabama, the Alabama Cook-Off. I mean, so yeah, just that stuff happens.
Yeah, I mean, I know that Sam Houston has been on the calendar for quite a while, so I don't know.
Well, we need to get like Jason Scaturo to do a Zoom call with us, let us know what's going on this weekend. But the one thing I do know that's going on tomorrow morning at the Conroe Outlet Mall, the Northside Mustang Car Club's meeting, and Jim Moore.
They're doing the damn cruise.
Jim Moore, one of the directors, is doing the damn cruise. That's right. Now, he had a nicer name for it. He called it like the Lake and Land
cruise,
something cruise,
yeah.
But it's the damn cruise. So those guys will launch. They go through the back roads, which is, they're going through two different national forests, Davy Crockett and Sam Houston National Forest.
Going in by Cold Springs, one of my favorite areas.
Yep.
So it's going to be a nice little cruise.
2-lane, windy roads, hills. It gets very hilly over there.
Yeah, and I forgot where they're having lunch at.
I know where they're having lunch, but they're going to, as they go around, they're going to stop and they're going to do a photo op at the dam actually, but they're going to have some lake views on the cruise, and they will eat at Agave's.
Okay.
In I believe that's in Trinity. And a friend of mine actually does a karaoke night out there. So, he and his wife do that, and Ricky and Rhonda. And they have a lot of fun out there. So they're the ones that actually turned us on to Agave's, but it's really good food. I mean, not a fancy restaurant, but really good Mexican food.
That's the best place to go eat is not the fancy ones.
That's what you want. You want the good food at a reasonable price. So that's the place that they're going to go eat. And then from there, I think everybody just kind of goes on their way, however they decide to go back home.
Yeah. And one thing about the Lions Club, also when I was talking about the cars, I hope that gets passed to the next generation, that taking care of these cars, and I hope the kids are out there and see that, everybody enjoying these cars and everything, and hopefully if you hand it down to your son or your daughter, that they take care of it as much as you did.
Yeah, I think you'll see that happen. We saw a lot of fathers and sons out there, fathers and daughters out there. We've got a gentleman coming in the studio here in a minute. He was at the show last weekend. I don't know if you knew that.
No.
But he was out there with his Chevelle. So, that is a show for families and tremendous amount of spectators that came through there.
Yeah, because you don't want that type of craftsmanship going away when you tear down a car and rebuild it and put all the stuff in it back together, and it's like, I hope we don't lose that.
Well, my car, as you know, I got out of the shop. I got it out of Greg's garage. That needed new top, so we found a guy here in Conroe, just a couple blocks up actually, by the name of Pepe. And Pepe took my car in. He's going to replace the top, but a couple of the pieces, I mean, that car is, 11 years old now? Is it 14, 15 years old, actually? Yeah. And so he took the pieces off and the trim pieces, and they've got to be replaced. So there was like another, I don't know, $1,800 or so. And then he calls me. He's like, hey, I got this idea for your seats. He wants to do custom seats, which would be great, Pepe. Yeah. Except Danny got sick. My little miniature schnauzer got sick this week, and that cost me about $2,000.
Right.
So we'll talk about the seats.
Well, I had my seats reupholstered at Junior's. Everybody in Conroe ought to know where Junior's is.
Yeah, I remember Junior's. He used to be over here.
Yeah,
he moved.
Fraser.
He moved off Fraser.
Okay. Yeah, but he did my seats, and they still smell like brand new. Still got that leather smell, and I totally enjoy the look of it and everything, and get a lot of compliments, too, from it. So, yeah.
Well, I tried to give my Mustang to my grandson, and he had to have a 240Z or 280Z or something like that. I think it's 280Z. So he's driving around all the way. The kid did get a convertible. I'll give him that. He got that from Grandpa. But he didn't want the Mustang until he got a girlfriend. Then he came to me. He's like, hey, you still got that Mustang? I was like, hey, yeah, no. no. I'm going to keep the Mustang at this point. So.
And another thing to get out there is, okay, we haven't brought up Cars and Coffee.
Yeah, I was going to ask you to mention TWCC.
We had a great event there, a lot of cars. Also, the people who used to do the Breakfast Club with me, we are going to be in the Hyatt right across the street.
The Hyatt Centric.
Yep. We're going to be on the second floor. That's where the restaurant part is, and we're going to do the Breakfast Club there next month. So join us there at 8 o'clock in the morning, Breakfast Club, the Hyatt.
At 8 o'clock. I went at TWCC. So
at TWCC.
First Sunday of every month, they'll show up, and if they just walk across from the entry point, right?
Yep.
I know, and I can tell you this, whenever you walk into the hotel, right, you walk right past the front desk, around to the right. It goes around in a circle.
Yeah, it's just a staircase. That's all it is, and you go upstairs and right into the restaurant.
Well, there's an elevator back there, too, and you can ride the elevator up in the second floor.
It's one story. I don't think we need to ride the elevator.
Okay, but there is an elevator to get to the second floor. And I know this because I had to pee one time, and I went in there and used their restroom, by golly,
You go in there and tell them, I got the handicap sticker. Okay, there's the elevator.
No, I went in there, hey, talking great things about the weather, and just kept on trucking. So
it does have a unique look, though, in the lobby. It
looks like a tree house or something.
Looks like a tree house. Yeah. And kind of like, okay, this is interesting.
Yeah.
I was thinking chandelier and marble, but no, it's kind of dark and
yeah, well,
got a jungle wallpaper theme going.
All I know is you're not allowed to rev your engines in the morning because you might wake up the guests, which I understand. What I don't understand is a guy that comes by at 7 a.m. with the leaf blower that's louder than any of the cars out there.
Or the trash truck that comes in and
that
dumps
guy.
all the dumpsters.
Banging the dumpsters, yeah.
He makes more noise than anybody.
So TWCC, it was a good one?
Yep.
Yeah, I understand it was full up.
Yep.
And people very anxious, or they had no problem making good donations at this one.
Yeah, and as soon as Dana gets back, she can tell us who the charity was.
Yeah, you don't remember what the charity is?
Okay,
yeah. I was going to ask you that too, so we'll have to look that up. It'll be on one of her posts out there. So Dana came over too.
Everybody's always generous out there.
Oh, they are. Dana was at. She came to the Tomball Lions Club. Yep. You were there. We took a selfie, the three of us.
Right.
Which actually came out pretty good.
Promoted the podcast.
We did. We talked about the podcast. We found actually we had a listener. He came up and said he was a listener.
Okay.
So now we know we've got one.
Yeah.
That works.
So tell him that way, and I can sign an autograph.
Yeah, but you're not going to sell that, I don't think. Hey, let's give the station some recognition. Let's get out of here, and then
also just before we leave, let's go ahead and tell them who our guest is going to be.
Well, yeah, right. We've got in just a few minutes. We've got Michael Kelton coming in here. He's a car enthusiast, but he owns a couple of restaurants here in town, and he's involved with that motorcycle. Remember we had Michael in here, Burrows, with the Victory Veterans
Victory for
organization.
Veterans. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Veterans Victory Incorporated or something like that.
Yep.
To basically to prevent suicide from veterans. So we're going to have Michael in here, and those guys will be actually stopping in his restaurant as they start their ride.
Okay, so we'll take a station break, and then when we come back, we'll have Michael in here.
We will. So this is Cruisin' Car Club Talk on Lone Star 104.5 and 106.1 FM. Or for those of you who may have wandered outside the listening area, we can be streamed around the globe at irlonestar.com, YouTube, or Facebook. And specifically getting to this show, it'll be irlonestar.com/CCCT.
And we'll be right back with our first guest, our only guest.
Every Friday, tune into Texas Ticket on Conroe's 104.5 and 106.1 FM with Armando Nino of Gull Lake Conroe, focusing on Montgomery County area events and places. Get a feel of the Texas spirit at the event, paired with guest and vendor interviews, event coverage, and ticket giveaways, and so much more. Join us Fridays and punch your Texas ticket. For more information on the show, visit irlonestar.com/Texas Ticket.
We are back and appreciate you spending time to cruise in for Car Club Talk with Robert, Randy, and Dana, who is missing today. But
we're keeping the seat warm for her.
But we do have a friend of Dana's in here. I understand she did some restoration for a gentleman by the name of Michael Kelton.
Yep.
Michael, welcome to the studio. Appreciate you coming in.
My
man.
pleasure. I appreciate you guys having me.
I had her. I was supposed to give you a hug and all that from Dana, but we're sticking with the handshake,
Yeah,
man.
handshake is fine. I'll get it from Dana when I see her.
There you go. Hey, you this past weekend, Robert, myself, and Dana all showed up at the Tomball Lions Club show, and I understand you were out there. We just never got to meet you.
Yeah, I went out there on a whim. To be honest with you, I wasn't planning on going. I thought, hey, this is good. The weather's good. This looks like a big show, so I went down. I'm glad I did. It's funny. I was walking around looking at cars, and I hear Mike, and I turn around. It's Dana.
Yeah.
I didn't even know she was going to be there, but she told me you all were there. But she said you were pretty tied up, so I didn't want to come bug you. But yeah, it was a great show. I enjoyed that.
You know,
quite a bit.
they let me do the announcing and play the music, and the playing of the music just annoys Robert to no end. So
Well, you did a great job.
well, thank
I
you,
appreciated the music.
because he doesn't like my music, you know. But
What kind of music
But
do you like?
everybody else does.
What do you prefer?
It's just, I don't know. He's just got his own taste, man. That's all it is, man.
Well, you know what? I have fun doing it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
nobody is
Well, the
taking a
trivia
shot
part,
at me
the
yet.
trivia part you do is great. It gets people involved, you know.
Yeah, they didn't have any giveaway stuff. And I was like, let's go buy some cotton candy. Let's do something.
Do something, right?
And do some giveaways.
Coupons for ice cream and all
Yep.
stuff you were doing.
Yeah.
Hit me up next year. I'll give you gift cards.
Oh, hey, we'll take you
I
up
love
on
that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I love doing the trivia, especially with the little kids.
But we were talking
Yeah.
about the Lions show was the unique cars that are out there, the classics. They were really great. And they were some very mint,
Yeah.
you know,
Well, you've got
very,
a
very
Chevelle.
nice cars.
I have a 72 Chevelle, yes.
Did you win anything with it?
No, I didn't bring it out. It was actually in the shop. I got it back
Okay.
Monday. The AC was not working properly, and they had to relocate some of
I
the...
was wondering when he said you had a Chevelle, I was wondering if it was that 66 red one out there.
No,
No.
I didn't have my car out there. I actually like the 70, the blue one that was over there under the tree.
Okay.
Along the curb there. I went over and talked to him, actually. I had a 70 Chevelle when I was in high school, so I'm very partial to that.
The Chevelles?
To the 70 to the 72 is probably
Right.
my...
He's partial to the Chevelles, but he's wearing a Ferrari shirt.
Well,
Right.
I don't have a Chevelle. I have a Chevelle shirt, but it's the band Chevelle. It's not the car Chevelle.
Oh,
So I figured I'd wear my Ferrari shirt. I like Ferraris.
oh yeah. Who doesn't like a Ferrari?
Right.
So you before we started the broadcasting or recording here, you were saying you got to go to Italy and drive a Ferrari.
Yeah, my previous career was wine and spirits business, and we had a national program for one of our distributors, and whoever made their numbers got to go to Italy, and we drove Ferraris across the country. That's where I got the shirt, and we had a blast. It was amazing. It's amazing how good those cars are. It's
Oh, they're
it's
tight.
crazy. Oh my gosh.
They're so low to the ground. I mean,
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
no body roll.
Yeah.
Did you have a chance to get them up to speed?
Oh yeah. Well, the first day we were driving in the mountains, and so we were hitting them hard through the mountains. Funny story about that. One of the markets, one of the GMs from one of the markets he's a car guy, and he drives hard. And I was riding with him. We had 4 cars, 5 guys. So one of us had to ride all the time. So I was riding with him at the time, and he was right on the lead guy's tail.
Yeah.
And we were cutting and turning and stopping and going. At about 30 minutes of that, I was like, okay, wait a minute, I can't handle this. So I had to get out and get in another car. Day 2, we got out on the open freeway, and we got up to about 170 on the freeway. And what's cool about it is that in Italy, they have great appreciation for those cars, and so everybody just gets out of your way, and we just go. We had walkie-talkies, and the guy who was in the back, he was a little tentative about going fast, and we kind of lost him when we got on the straightaway. I couldn't see him, so I called him, and he said, "Frank, are you back there?" "Yeah, I'm back here." "And didn't you see we just passed the cop?" Well, it was I think it was a Renault or a Fiat or something.
Right.
I'm like, he's in the Italian version of a Prius. He's not going to catch you. I mean, who cares? So yeah, that was a blast. We had a great time.
So what was the speed limit there, though? Is it like the Autobahn where it's open?
No, there's definitely a speed limit.
Okay.
They again, there's such a great appreciation for those cars, so they don't pay attention to you.
Right.
But it's when you're going through the toll roads and you hit if you get to one toll booth too soon, leaving one and get to the other one too soon, it calculates, okay, your average speed was above the speed limit. So they'll send you tickets. As a matter of fact, my boss had told me that like a year or two prior, they got about $5,000 of speeding tickets mailed to them after this event. And so one of the stipulations was you have to pay for your own speeding tickets. We don't care how fast you go. You get a speeding ticket, you have to pay for it. So yeah, there is I don't know. I don't remember, to be honest with you, what the speed limit was on the highway, because
That's kind of a sneaky way of doing it, but it's clever. But,
Yeah.
you made, your distance too quick.
Yeah.
Well, they're talking about that over on the bridge that goes over the Atchafalaya there in in Louisiana. That if you got from one point to another, they were going to issue tickets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know that that's ever been put in place, and I seriously doubt that anybody's going to
You can
accept
use
it.
the excuse, I had to speed up in order to pass somebody or something. It's not my fault.
Yeah, I had to get the 170 so I could get around somebody.
Yeah, I had another great experience in the wine business. We did an event, a promotion for our distributor in California, and if they made their number, we took them all down to the performance driving school, the BMW performance driving school in Southern California.
Yeah.
That was a better experience for me than the Ferraris, because it was all performance driving on the track.
Yeah, you're on the track.
Right.
Yeah.
They taught us, how to corner, how to,
Really how to handle that car.
correct. Yeah, we got to drift.
But there's also such a difference when you've got all the safety stuff in place, and you've got instructors there.
Yeah.
And they are coaching you here and
Right.
there.
And there's not other cars around you that you have to worry about. It's a significant difference. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Much better feel to it.
It was funny. We were on the first section. We had broken up into 4 groups. Same thing. We all had our own cars, and then the instructor had his car, and he had a walkie-talkie as well. So 4 of us. It was 4 groups of 4, and we were in one section. And it was a long track with lots of curves, but they broke it up into sections. So first section we were at, it was the straightaway. It was probably about 50 yards or so, and the instructor said, okay, there's 2 cones. The first cone, when you get the first cone, when you start, hit it, put it to the floor, go as fast as you can. When you get to the first cone, hit your brakes hard, slow the car down, move the center of gravity forward. When you get to the second cone, that's when you start your turn and into the curve. So we all did it, and then he gets on the radio, he goes, okay, now this time, do it like you mean it. He said, you need to hit those brakes hard, and I was like, man, we're gonna either lock up, or he goes, nope. All these cars have the ceramic package,
Yeah.
and you could feel the anti-lock brakes kick in, and it felt like it was gonna vibrate.
That's the way the car should be driven.
Correct.
Right.
Yes, and from that point on, we wore those cars out, and they they didn't fail at all. They
Right.
didn't flinch a bit. And I had from that point on, I got a greater appreciation of BMWs. BMWs, they're amazing machines.
Yeah.
That was a blast too. So
Yeah.
and then the instructors took us all out. They got to drive and took us all out. And I think they drifted through every corner the whole time. Once it was all done, there was just smoke everywhere. But it was a cool event.
Yeah.
Cool.
And that's actually where the new Mustang is designed from.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted to compete with BMW.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they just broke a new record over at the Nuremberg Ring. So,
Yeah.
we can't. And David, I think it's pronounced Diulis, will be getting a GTD. I think as soon as it comes out in October, November. So
Cool.
He'll be in the studio with us. He did a Zoom call last time.
I did the Extreme Experience down south of Houston, the track down there.
MSR.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the pace car, the car we followed was a Mustang, and I thought this Mustang was one I was not going to be able to handle the track because it was nothing special. At least it didn't look like it. The Mustang took that track. So again, I'm not a Ford guy, but
Yeah.
that's a great car. I think
It's-
they've done an amazing job on the Mustang.
They have done an amazing job. They really have. And then on top of everything else, like, it's been in production for 61 straight years. I
Right.
mean,
Yeah.
it's the only car that's been like
Yeah,
that.
it's a different winner.
Yeah. It's just nice to have a ton of them out there. So
Yeah.
this guy owns a Celine version of the Mustang.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to ask you. I know you probably own more than just the Chevelle.
Right now, no.
No?
That's my goal. Yes.
Okay.
To have some more cars. I'm in the process of opening another restaurant.
Okay.
Once I'm done with that, I'm going to chill for a while.
Yeah.
And so
I know we visit the one over there in Market Street.
yeah, Sweet Paris.
That's Sweet Paris. I like that.
I haven't been to
Good
the
food.
Treehouse yet.
Treehouse is pretty laid back. You would
Yeah.
like it. It's very rustic, very laid back. It's an old building back in the woods. You have
Right.
to walk through the woods to get to it. We have a beer garden in the woods.
So who came up with that idea?
Well, the previous owners built it. They built it from the ground up.
Okay.
And they ran it themselves, and they did it as kind of a hobby, I think, really, and really just for their friends to come and hang out and eat. And they were only open Monday through Friday, 7 to 2. When I bought it, we immediately opened the weekends, and then we also served dinner. But it's got kind of a cool cult following. We've got a zombie graveyard outside one window. We have zombies that we can pop up in the window. We activate them from the kitchen. We have tortoises out front. We've got 2 big sulcatas, which are probably about that big around, and then a couple smaller tortoises out front. So we let the kids feed them. So that's kind of a
Yeah, that's
it's a
pretty
cool environment. And
Yeah.
then I have Hunger Crush Cafe over on Lake Conroe in Waterpoint Marina. And that's really a nice restaurant overlooking the water. We do breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Is that
full
strictly like a seafood, or is it?
No, this is American food. It's a scratch kitchen. I would call it American food with a little bit of an eclectic twist, if you will, or elevation. We do, like, for example, we make our pastrami in house. We make our corned beef in house. We do corned beef hash for breakfast. We make it in house. We do our meatloaf in house. We hand bread our chicken fried steak in house. That type of thing. So
Naming everything my wife loves.
Hey, I saw pictures.
we got great burgers too.
Saw pictures of the pancakes, and they actually put banana slices on top of them.
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was looking at your website.
Yeah.
So I haven't been to the Treehouse. I need to go there, especially after you talked about it here. But Hunger Crush Cafe, you actually have a monthly car event over there.
Yes, I do. The first Saturday of the month, we do a meetup, 8 to 10:30. Nothing is open in the parking lot that early on the weekend, so we get to commandeer the parking lot. We put cones out, so we take over the whole parking lot. So, and it's nothing fancy. It's we don't charge. There's no judging. It's really cars and bikes, bikes and car guys that just want to come.
What
and
is that
hang out.
address?
15250 Highway 105 West, Suite 160. We're in between Fajita Jack's and Monty's.
Oh,
Yeah, I was
I
going to
know
say it's
exactly where you're at,
Monty's
yeah.
Lighthouse and Fajita Jack's.
Okay.
and
Yeah,
right
yeah.
there. is Akashi still beside you? That used to be there? Or
We're
did
in
you take-
Akashi's old
Okay,
space.
all right.
Akashi went across the parking lot right next to Fajita Jack's, and so when they moved, we went into their space. So yeah, we do that every month. It's a lot of fun.
Any certain first of the month or what?
It's the first Saturday.
Saturday.
First
every
Saturday of the
yeah.
month.
Yeah.
And it's
Okay.
on our Facebook page, Hunger Crush Cafe.
It's not too early either. I think it's like 8:30.
8 to 10:30, yeah. And
Okay.
it's cool, man. I've actually become really good friends with a lot of these people that come hang out. With one couple, they invited me to go to Mexico with them. They have a timeshare there, and they had an extra room that wasn't being used, and they said, hey, "Come on out." So yeah, okay, I'm there. So I like cars.
Yeah.
I own the restaurant. So it's kind of a win-win for me. It gets people to the restaurant, and I get to check out cars.
And everybody gets to enjoy everything. Yeah, both.
Well, and the thing,
Both worlds.
that restaurant especially, but for me, with all of our restaurants, we really want to be community driven, and so we wanted to have a kind of a place for people to come and hang out. They feel comfortable coming and hanging out, and we support some kind of local charity at all of our restaurants. Hunger Crush and Sweet Paris, we support the food bank. We got things on our menu for everyone we sell.
That's Montgomery County Food Bank.
Yeah, they're a great organization, by the way. And then Treehouse Cafe, we support Folds of Honor. They're an organization that raises money for the kids of fallen soldiers and first responders. They provide scholarships. So we sponsor their golf tournament, and we donate to them annually as well. They do a tournament out at Lake Windcrest. I feel like if I'm going to take money from the community by way of doing business, I need to give back to the community. So that's very, very important to me.
Yeah.
So we do that, and that was part of the reason why, one of the reasons why we wanted to do the meetups. I just wanted to have a place for these guys to come and hang out and talk cars and look at their cars and just hang out. We give everybody, we have free coffee out for people, coffee and water. And,
Well, as a car club person or a car person, we appreciate that.
yeah, well, thanks.
If I can ever get my Mustang out of the shop, I'll come out.
You can still come. You don't have to have a car. We have people that come just because we have the
yeah,
show.
you
They
go
come
just
it's
to eat.
really
Just-
something,
cool.
you know?
And to look at the other cars.
You're right. Yeah.
Go get the pancakes.
Yeah.
I will get the pancakes. I love pancakes, man. Hey, talk to me a little bit about You've got the Victory Veterans
Victory for
organization
Veterans,
coming out June 7th, I think, though. On that
Correct.
one.
Yeah, it's the first Saturday in June. So Colonel Mike Burrows is the CEO of Victory for Veterans. He started this organization. He's a retired Army colonel. They raise money for post-service care for fallen soldiers and first responders, so PTSD care, rehab, et cetera. They got some medical facilities. I think they're up in Huntsville. And so he does all these types of events. Well, every year he does a poker run. And I connected with him through Texas Ticket with Armando Nino.
Yeah, Armando. He
was-
gave your name to it.
Yes,
so.
it's good to network.
Right.
Yes, it is.
So I was hosting Texas Ticket with Armando, or co-hosting with Armando, and he had Colonel Mike on there, and we were talking. He said he's wanting to do this poker run. And I said, well, we do a car meetup and bike meetup every month. I said, I would love to get involved in that. So I said, and we'll donate a portion of our sales from that morning. So yeah, we're booked to do that. It's a 140-mile poker run. It starts at Hunger Crush Cafe June 7th at 8 a.m. We'll start there, and then we go through the forest. I think there's 4 stops, and then we end at J&B Cycles, maybe it is, into the Woodlands. It's like $30 to get into it. We roll 4 times, and you can win prizes and all that kind of stuff, and it's for a great cause.
Right.
Now, he says he's had anywhere between 65 and 100 participants in past, so we're expecting a lot of people there. So I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, yeah. No, it sounds like a great event, too. Yeah. Unfortunately, I'll be over in Austin that weekend, that specific day.
I have a restaurant in Austin, too, by the way.
I saw you've got another Sweet Paris in
Correct.
Austin.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm glad you brought that up. We'll have to visit that one while we're over there.
We did some things there with Ferrari. Ferrari does an exotic car event in the Domain Shopping Center where we are located. So, yeah, I try to.
Yeah, in the Domain.
The Domain, yeah. That's where
I've got one of my customers, actually a couple of them. I've got a Home 2 Suites, a Hilton Garden Inn, and a Cambria out all in the Domain area out there. So.
Yeah, I've stayed at the Hilton properties probably once or twice.
Okay,
When I go, I stay up in the area. So yeah.
Yeah, fairly new properties too, so they're nice out there.
Yeah.
We're actually over there planning the Saline National
Oh, nice.
on that day. So they'll be held at the Kalahari Resort. It's a little bit further north in Round Rock up there.
Yeah, we're not too far from Round Rock. That's
No,
that's
no.
a whole. Round Rock is great. I love Round Rock.
Well, that whole area is great.
Right. Yeah.
I just remember it from the 70s when it was more great.
Yeah.
More great.
Yeah, Austin,
More great.
Austin has certainly changed. I will tell you that. It's not what it was.
No, it's
15,
grown
20
up,
years ago.
and they refused for so long to build freeways, and
Yeah.
now they did, and it's unfortunately it's kind of like being in Houston.
Yeah, they
you
did
know.
that on purpose. They said that if we don't build it, they won't come, and they came
Yeah,
anyway.
they came anyway. That's
They're
right.
They're trying to get caught up. So, it's,
When you were in Italy, did you actually get to go to the Ferrari
no,
facility?
we did not go to the Ferrari facility. No, we didn't have quite as much time to be able to do that, and we actually talked about doing that. And then I left the company. So,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I know there's a rivalry between Lamborghini and Ferrari.
yeah, they don't like each other.
They don't like each other. In fact, I think if you own a Lamborghini, Ferrari will not sell you a Ferrari.
I wouldn't doubt that. But there's also a rivalry between Ford and Ferrari, so you know, those guys don't
Well,
exactly like
apparently
each other.
Enzo Ferrari was a bit arrogant. I mean, he makes great cars. I get it, but he didn't make a lot of friends. So.
No, he didn't make a lot of friends, but he wasn't in the business making friends.
No, you're
so-
right. He makes a great car.
Yeah, can't argue with that.
Yeah.
So, Mike, how do people find you?
Well, Hunger Crush Cafe is very easy. HungerCrushCafe.com, Facebook at Hunger Crush Cafe. Treehouse Cafe Magnolia is our handle, so treehousecafemagnolia.com or Facebook Treehouse Cafe Magnolia. SweetParis.com is really for the whole chain. Sweet Paris is a Houston-based chain. For the Woodlands, it's Sweet Paris The Woodlands. For Facebook, Sweet Paris The Woodlands. Or you can email me at mike.kelton at mrkgroupllc.com. That's my parent company that I run all my restaurants. So.
You know, I think if people haven't been to Europe, they're probably not real used to crepes. But once you get a taste of crepes, you'll quickly switch from pancakes. You know.
Yeah, and what's cool is guys like yourself who say, oh, "I'm not crepes. That's a ladies' thing. I'm not gonna go eat crepes." But we have a Philly cheesesteak crepe.
Yes,
We've got
you
a
do.
chicken carbonara crepe. You know, we've got chicken enchilada crepe. And all these guys walk in, they walk out, and like, oh my goodness.
There was a car meet last week off of 2920, and it was a restaurant, and it was a breakfast, and then they were advertising those, and that's the same thing. I'm in line, I'm like, what's a crepe?
Yeah,
I got to tell you, the Sweet Paris does a great job with the crepes. They really do.
yeah. It's I can't take credit for any of the recipes there. They've done a great job with the recipes. The food is really good. The sauces, the food, the quality of the food that we use to start up with is excellent. So yeah, and the Dana does a deal there at Market Street as well. I guess it's the first Sunday of the month.
First Sunday of every month.
Right.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's rain or shine. Or yours rain and shine? Rain or shine?
Well, we try to hold it in the rain, but nobody shows up.
Yeah.
But what are you gonna do?
Well, I know with Dana, usually it's the volunteers.
With Dana, it's a fundraiser. You know, you're trying to generate funds for the whatever charity is that month. So, yeah, you can't go home.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's nice to know that you're giving back to the community like that. So
And Dana's got such a loyal following that even if it's pouring down rain, she still has cars.
Dana's great. Dana did all the mechanical work on my Chevelle, and they did an amazing job. So I love Dana. I'll support her till the end of the world. So.
Yep, she's good at giving back to the community as well.
For sure.
so.
For sure.
Well, Mike, we appreciate you coming in here.
Well, thanks for having me.
You know, I'm going to ask, and you can say no, but I always ask, is there a phone number people can reach you at?
I would really rather not give that out because it's my personal cell phone number.
I always ask.
I'm in the middle of building this new restaurant, and my cell phone number is the only phone number that I have. I don't have a home phone, or I don't have an office. And come time when these restaurants are starting to open up, I get so many calls and texts and emails, like things like, "Hey, we haven't talked in a while." Well, it's because I don't know who you are. So I appreciate you asking, but I prefer not to give that out.
So that everybody knows, you're opening up another Sweet Paris in Cypress.
In Cypress, in Bridgeland, Bridgeland Village Green. We're going into the same center where the brand new HEB just opened up on North Bridgeland Creek Parkway. So yeah, we'll be open probably second week of June.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're getting close then.
Yeah, it's getting crazy.
Yeah. That's the one that's the worst time. It's like,
Oh yes.
if anything can go wrong, it does.
I can't wait till July comes. I'm excited to do it. And it's going to be great. I will tell you, I have a great team. I've got a great team of people helping me out. My daughter just came to work for me last year, which has been really a proud moment. I didn't expect her to be able to just to take things and run with it the way she did. My oldest daughter also helps me out in Austin. But it's a lot. I mean, it's a lot to do.
Right.
Once we get open and running, it really feels good. You look back and you can see just how well this thing, takes care of itself.
So what's its ultimate goal? Are we going to try to be another Landry's or?
No, I don't think so. I don't know. After this one, I'm going to have to decide. To be honest with you, I'm not a foodie guy. I love food. I love to
Yeah.
eat.
But you're not like a chef or.
I'm not
anything like
culinary
that.
trained. No, I love to cook. What drives me is building organization. In my career in the wine business, I was always a hard study of organizational development, cultural development, et cetera, et cetera. And I really butted heads with some of the companies that I worked for. One of them was an Italian company because the mentality is different. In Italy, the mentality is the company is an entity, and the workforce that works for that company is a separate entity, and there's a significant separation.
So it doesn't feel like a team.
No. And so I've been able to put together really a family environment
Right.
here. I take very good care of my staff. Whenever they fall in hardships, I try to step in. For example, my GM at Sweet Paris in the Woodlands is out on maternity leave. She's coming back next week, but I paid her half-time while she was out so that she would have some income.
Right.
Because she does such a good job for me. And I got a family of 4 there at the Woodlands that's been with me since we've opened in 2019. So that's what's rewarding to me is the building of the organization.
Yeah.
I do a big Christmas party for my staff every year, and just the appreciation they have that I do things for them, and I actually have great appreciation for them because I can't do what I'm doing without them. So if that flame continues to burn in me, then yeah, we may open another couple of restaurants here and there. And it really all just depends if I have people. At this point in time, I don't need to do it, but if I have people who want to do more and want to grow in my organization, then I'll do it, and I'll let them.
So I can, from what you're saying, I can take it that you don't have a very big turnover rate. Then I'm sure everybody wants to work for you.
Well, the restaurant business, there is a lot of turnover, but yes, we seem to have less turnover than what normally
restaurants.
is in the restaurant
Right.
business. I mean, when you have a family of 4 or families that work for you, that I think that means something. When people who you work for are bringing their friends and family to come work for you, that means something.
Yeah.
So
I've got a son who went to the Art Institute to learn cooking. One of the things about the restaurant business is most restaurants only give about 20 hours a week to employees. And they have to go find another job at another restaurant, and it's always conflicting schedules because you're trying to get that 40 hours. Nobody's willing to give the 40 hours. So that's one of the things they always have to deal with.
I have no problems giving staff 40 hours. If they're a hard worker and they're going to do the job for me, I'll give them 40 hours. That doesn't bother me one bit. So
that helps right there from
Yeah.
stopping the turnover rate right
that
there.
helps tremendously.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if you've noticed, but you said you're not a foodie, but Mr. Schischler back here, our sound engineer and producer, who's sequestered back in the safe room / sound booth, is wearing a chef and rancher hat.
Oh
Have
yeah,
you noticed that?
I see that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you a foodie? Yeah. I do too. I like to eat.
Yeah. Well, hey, thanks again for coming in.
My
I
pleasure.
look forward to seeing you in the future. I'll come out to some of the events at Hunger Crush. Haven't eaten there yet, so I've got to. And I'll get out to the Treehouse.
Yeah, that sounds like a great place.
Yeah, love
Yeah.
to have you. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Hey, let's slide out. We'll give some station recognition, come back, and then close this thing up. What do you think?
Okay, sounds good.
Sound good? This is Cruisin' Car Club Talk on 104.5 and 106.1 FM. Or for those Globetrotters out there, we can be streamed anywhere on the earth at irlonestar.com, on Facebook or on Facebook. I'm Randy Weldon. This guy over here is Robert Helmer. Missing in action is Dana Pritchard. And Mike Kelton, thank you so much for coming in.
And we'll be right back.
car enthusiasts of Conroe, FM 104.5 and 106.1 Lone Star Community Radio invites you to shift into gear every Monday from 1 to 2 with Cruisin Car Club Talk with Robert and Randy for news on all things automotive in the greater Houston-Conroe area. Can't make a live show? We've got you covered. You can find all of our uncut content, including full episodes on Spotify, iTunes, Play Store, YouTube, Facebook, and irlonestar.com. Again, that's Mondays 1 to 2, Cruisin Car Club Talk with Robert and Randy. See you there.
Okay. We are back. And I think let's chat. We've got, since this is being recorded just a day or two before Mother's Day, and nobody will see us until after Mother's Day here.
Yeah.
There aren't a lot of car shows this weekend, so it's good we're not talking about a lot of those.
It'd be a late Happy Mother's Day if you're watching this.
That's right. That's right. Good that you brought that up, though. So for you mothers out there, Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.
So we've got, I know on May 17th, there is an event, Cruisin, at Hard Bean Cafe that I believe that's over in Beaumont, actually. That one's coming up. And there's this Grills and Wheels, I think, which is... March through August on Saturdays at 9 to 11.
Yeah.
But I think over there you go over and it's a Cruisin. You can actually end up winning a grill over there.
Yeah.
So.
And another thing is, if people are watching this, I hope they are, okay? But if you're having an event, email it to us so we can put it on the podcast and let everybody know. Because, we actually have a website, cruisincarclubtalk.com, and we actually have space for events. We put flyers up there and let everybody know what if you're having a car show or a cruise in. It doesn't matter. Just let us know what event you're holding, and then we'll post it and put it out there and put it on the show.
So that's cruisincarclubtalk.com.
Right.
And what all do you have up there other than flyers?
We have 5 pages of content. We have 20 of our videos. We have Mustang Week video up there.
People can't take looking at you at 20 different videos. That's
one day at a time. That's 20 days right there. Yeah.
That's enough to break somebody's habit, huh?
And then got our email address so you can email and get in contact with us. If you'd like to be on the show, contact us. Right.
And we'd love to have somebody in the studio here,
Yep.
like Mike just came in here with us. It's just always nice to have people come in the studio, although we also have people that do Zoom calls, so we can do that as well.
Yep. So we can always make it easier for you to participate, be part of the podcast. And, and one of the things is on our closing here, Cruisin Car Club Talk is to inform and educate the community on local car clubs and the events that they put on within the Montgomery County and surrounding areas. We're not just staying in Montgomery County anymore. We're all over the place now.
So we're talking about those bad actors that get out there and cause problems in the streets. You want to bring is that what you're trying to bring attention to?
No.
You're trying to bring attention to the fact.
We're trying to bring the attention to car clubs and car shows that are trying to raise money for charities and respect the law, right?
But that's actually what's going on, right? Is these guys are getting events organized and together, and they are raising money for charity and giving back to the community.
Back to the community.
Yeah, I know when you first got involved, you were heavily involved with the food bank.
Yes, Montgomery County Food Bank. Yeah, like you said, it's a great organization. They are. The one show that I did, the Cruisin Against Hunger, we teamed up with Kroger's, and Kroger's normally makes a donation to the food bank once a month, but they donated in our name, so it was like 10,000 pounds of food. So it just made our event that much bigger.
Yep.
So that was great to team up with them.
The other thing, too, and people don't realize this, but we're coming into summer, right? And people will go on vacation or whatever, but that's actually one of the worst times for the food banks to retain food on their shelves. It's when they really need the donations during the summer months. I sat down with the food bank people and had that conversation.
Right.
They really struggle during the summer months because a lot of people are gone out of town on vacation or whatever.
Yeah. And your donation money goes so far. It's like, what, $1 for 9 or something like that?
I don't know. It feeds a lot of families. It's a lot of meals.
So they do great work at stretching the dollar out. So your donation goes a long ways.
Yeah, I'm going to mention something too, and it's completely off this subject. But if people go to Mustang.org, there is a giveaway Mustang that was actually delivered to the dealer in April, and it's a brand new car that was custom built for Mustang Club of America. I think tickets are $10 or entries are $10 or whatever. If you buy more, you can. If you go to if you go to Mustang.org and scan that QR code that they've got up there, you can get double the tickets for what you purchase. Yeah, something like that. Anyhow, but I mean, they'll give that car away at Mustang Week in Myrtle Beach in October.
Okay.
So that's look, giveaway car is a giveaway car,
right?
And a $10 entry is worth it.
Yeah, good chance to win it.
Although you're on the board of Mustang Club of America like I am, and neither one of us can actually enter. Okay. Or if we do, we can't win.
Can't win. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you got anything else on the docket there, man?
No, other than if you'd like to sponsor our podcast, just let us know. It's tax-deductible donations just to contact us through Lone Star Community Radio.
So other than sponsors, just so everybody knows, Robert would really like to sign an autograph. So if you would come up and ask him for an autograph, he may ask you for $5. Just say, hell no. I want your autograph for free.
It's going to charity.
Actually, it'd probably go in the trash, but ask him for his autograph anyhow. All right. Appreciate you coming in. It's nice seeing you. Haven't been here in a while. That's it for this episode of Cruisin' Car Club Talk. I'm Randy Welton along with Robert Helmer. Dana Pritchard is missing this week. And locked up back in the sound booth / safe room is our sound engineer and producer, Dick Schischler. We are broadcasting from the studios of Lone Star Community Radio on 104.5 and 106.1 FM and streaming worldwide at irlonestar.com, on Facebook and on YouTube. And to get to our show specifically, which airs every Monday at 1 p.m., you go to irlonestar.com /CCCT.
That's right. And then also go to our website. And we'll see you at the car show.
We will see you out there somewhere.